Hey, welcome back to Magic City Entertainment. Hopefully you guys are doing great today. Before we hop into the video, I just want to say thank you for all the subscribers and all the views. I really appreciate it. So today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 games that have very good stories that you guys should check out. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Coming in number 5, we have Wolf Among Us. This game was released in 2013 by Telltale Games, and let me say, this was a very good game. It had action, it had story, it had a little bit of everything. The characters were very interesting. What made this game even more interesting is that it's about the fable. So, for example, you got Bigby, Big Bad Wolf, Snow White, you have Beauty and the Beast, all types, all you can think of, they were in this story. And it's an episodic adventure, basically. So the story consists of people in Fabletown are getting killed, and Bigby is the sheriff of the town. So he has to figure out what's going on, why are these people dying. And throughout this 5-episode game, you figure out who did it, why they did it, or so I should say, who was behind it. And it was very good. There was a moment where you fight Bloody Mary, and when you first get introduced to her, it's very intense, really intense. And from there on, the game just goes up, basically. And sadly, the company Telltale has been discontinued, and we didn't get a Wolf Among Us season 2, which was very sad because this was probably one of my favorite Telltale games that they made. But if you have time, I highly recommend you guys check out this game. Coming in number 4, we have LA Noire. And man, for the time that this game came out for the PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2011, recently the game has got an upgrade to, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One. But during the time it was on PS3 and Xbox 360, it was innovating, elevating. It was changing the game. So, especially with the facial animations, the way they had everything, they made it to where you actually feel like a detective. It wasn't one of those games where it holds your hand. No, you make the decisions as a detective. You choose who is the criminal or not. Yes, sometimes it would tell you, oh, you need to do it again to get the right information. But at the end of the day, you could choose the wrong perp, and the actual perp can get away. So you have to make sure you pay close attention to everything. And when you're sitting down talking to the victims or the criminal, you have to watch their faces, because their faces give you little tells here and there. So like, say for example, a person is asking, so what were you last Tuesday? And they look away, it kind of tells you that maybe they're lying or they're holding something back. So you will hit a lie, or you will hit like to pressure them into giving you the answer, or you just lay back and won't say anything. So this game made you feel like a detective, and I liked that. But it also had a good story as well. So you would go up. You start off as a beat cop, a regular cop. Then you get detective, and I think you get arson detective, of working with fires. I think there was one more I missed, but it was good, and the story just progressed. So Rockstar did a great job with this game. If you have a Switch, PS4, Xbox One, you can play it now, and it's not a very expensive game now since it's been out for so long. But if you have time, I promise you, you cannot go wrong with this game. Coming in number 3, we have Uncharted 4. And this one was kind of tough because the Uncharted series as a whole is really freaking good. But ultimately, I went with Uncharted 4 because it's a final chapter to a great series. And this game looks beautiful on the PS4. Fantastic. The story is great. Everything about it is just very good. And I'm not saying the other ones weren't good enough to make it either, but I think with the fourth one, it just got better, pretty much. You know, the story consists of Nathan Drake going on another adventure. This time, he's only going on this venture because he's helping his brother. So his brother got in with some bad people, and he needs Nathan Drake's help. And of course, they go on this amazing adventure and everything. And thing is, he was supposed to retire after the third one. So him doing this, like, put his marriage on the line, basically. And it was a great story from beginning to the end. And it was ultimately the best conclusion you can get to an ending for a game like this game. So I recommend you guys play it. If you haven't played the first three, they have the Nathan Drake collection where you get the first three, and then just get Uncharted 4 along the way. And they had Lost Legacy as well. But ultimately, Uncharted 4 is a fantastic game. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Coming in number 2, we have God of War. And let me say, this by far is the best God of War game ever. I mean, all the other ones were good, but I think this one separated itself so far away from it, because other ones were hack and slash. The story was there, but it wasn't really there. And with this God of War, you feel this story from beginning to end, literally. The story is so freaking good. So basically, you're following Kratos and his son Atreus, which is also a really good character development for Kratos, because in the originals, Kratos lost his family. Now he has a new family. So you're following Kratos and Atreus, and they're basically going through this whole adventure journey, I should say, to spread across his mother's ashes. Basically, that was her final wish. So they went to the highest peak to spread her ashes, like she asked. And throughout this journey, you learn so much about Kratos. You see him becoming a better father, you know, and you see his son Atreus becoming pretty much a better son, and learning that he's a god, you know. And they had this one moment in the game where you're fighting this guy. They called it the Stranger. Eventually you learn his name, but it's called the Stranger. And that fight was absolutely amazing, and it set the game up to be a great game. So if you have a chance, if you have a PS4, play this game. Play it. I promise you, you will not look back. The Walking Dead series, man, I couldn't even choose one game for this, because each season is very good. Well, the third season isn't that great, but season 1 is fantastic. You know, you're getting introduced to so many characters, but you play as this one guy called Lee Everett, and you know, after a while you're like, wow, this guy is really good. So he was headed to jail for a murder that he committed, and then that's when the zombie apocalypse happened and everything. And he met this little girl named Clementine, and then basically they had like a father-daughter type of relationship that built up over time to become, you know, actually father and daughter relationship, because he had to end up taking care of this little girl and showing her like what she needs to do and what not to do. And it was great season. Actually, probably one of the best seasons in the whole series, honestly. And you have season 2, continues the story of Clementine, you know, her growing up from a little girl to a teenage girl, and her going through her ups and downs, and basically she's becoming into her own. She's just remembering everything that she learned in season 1 and carried over to season 2. Then season 3 wasn't the greatest. I'm not even going to talk about season 3, but the final season is really good. It's a great conclusion to a great series as a whole. So if you have a chance, I highly recommend for you to check out the Walking Dead series. Spec Ops The Line. And let me say, this game is super underrated. Nobody talks about this game. Even I forgot about this game. But when I was making this list, I was like, man, I remember this one game I used to play on PS3, Spec Ops The Line. I was like, yes, I'm adding it to this list because it deserves to be on this list. It's extremely story driven. Basically follows a soldier who is going through something, and when the story completely unfolds and everything, you're like, wow, what did I just play? And there's choices in this game that makes the game even better. Like, you think you're doing one thing, but in reality, you're doing something entirely different. So I like that aspect of this game a lot. And I'm pretty sure you can get this game now. If you have Xbox Live, you know, you can find it in the store on your Xbox One. Pretty sure on the PS4 they have it for their PlayStation Now. So there's a chance for you to play this game. And I highly recommend you guys do, because you will not be disappointed, like, at all. And I'm pretty sure you can play this on a PC as well, because the PC gets whatever Microsoft game anyway. So if you have a PC, PlayStation, Xbox One, I highly recommend you guys check this game out. Coming in number 1, we have Marvel Spider-Man. Man, let me say, this game was absolutely fantastic. Like, when you first get introduced to Spider-Man, he's waking up, making toast, and he just jumps out the window. You got the music playing in the background, and he's just swinging through New York City. It was amazing. Like, everything about this game was great. The gameplay, great. The story, fantastic. The gameplay, fantastic. Even the graphics were really fantastic. For a PS4 game, I'm not gonna lie, it pushed the limit to gaming. And the PS4 still holds up right now when the PS5 is coming around the corner. But in 2018, this game was really good. The story was great. Wasn't a fan of the ending that much, but it was good. It felt like a Marvel film. You know, I wish there was a Avengers Easter egg or a certain cameo, but it never happened. Maybe in the second one we'll get it. But there were some Easter eggs in there of the Avengers. You just have to look for them. But I don't know, it was great. It was really good. And they had a whole bunch of villains in it as well, which I didn't think there was gonna be that many villains. They had a lot of villains. It was like you're facing the Sinister Six, I think it was. You had Rhino, Electro, Green Goblin. There were some other ones. I just can't remember who they were. But they were pretty good. Some boss battles were better than others, but other than that, it was still pretty good. Oh, Kingpin as well. That was the first boss you fight, was Kingpin. That boss fight was really good. And I would give credit to the actor who voice acted Spider-Man, because he felt like Spider-Man. I mean, he was Spider-Man basically. He was very well acted. He had the corny Spider-Man jokes and everything, and he made the Spider-Man feel real. Like, feel like you were watching a Marvel Spider-Man movie. And that's what you want in video games when it comes down to story driven. You want to feel like you're watching a movie and not playing a game. And that's what we got here. So if you have a chance, play this game. Whatever you do, just start playing it now. And have my video playing in the background. I'm joking, but no, really, play this game. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If I missed anything, any game that should have been on the list, please drop it in the comment section. And if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.